Joining us this morning with some more reaction to the January jobs number, Republican House Majority Whip Kevin McCarthy of California joins us from the Hill. Congressman, good to see you.
Thanks for having me.
I understand there was a leadership meeting this morning. Tell us about the mood in the room today.
Well, I didn't have a leadership meeting this morning. We usually do it every day. We were meeting on the transportation bill going forward. So these are welcome numbers. We're excited that have the numbers moving forward, but all the other numbers that look out don't look so prosperous. The Congressional Budget Office said we're going to have a $4 trillion deficit 4 years in a row for this president. That unemployment would be at 8.9 by the end of the year. And we wonder how many more jobs could we have added had we just had Keystone Pipeline approved. So there's still much work to be done, and we're looking forward to getting that done.
Obviously, the jobs number is good. I don't know if you just heard the ISM services number. Hiring expectations are well above expectations, leading you to believe that we might see, if not a repeat number like this one, then something that is in this trajectory. Is the talking point or the argument going to be it's good, but it could have been better?
Now, look, we hope the numbers continue to get better. That's what we're working on every day inside the House. Now, we've had 11 recessions since the post-war, World War II. If you take the average of the last 10, we're down 13 million jobs just on average we should have already created. So there is a better way of going about doing this. You've got to work together to make it happen. You've got a Senate that is sitting on 27 bills out of 30 that would help job creation. So there's a lot of work to be done, and we hope we can make it happen.
Congressman, do you think that perhaps Obama's lower taxes are working here? The Journal reports this morning that the effective tax rate at which American corporations are now being taxed is at a 40-year low, 12.1%, partly, of course, because we're foregoing $55 billion a year so they can immediately write down their investments. Are those tax cuts working? And in your view, is it right? Are they good value for money to add to the deficit?
Look, I see our tax system as holding us back. We have the second highest corporate tax rate in the world. We have repatriation. If we were able to bring back, we have trillions of dollars sitting on the outside that come back. We live in a world economy. But why does a product have to be created when it's created in America and it goes to Europe? It pays for their social welfare, but theirs comes over and gets repeated back. We have an ability to compete worldwide. We just have to have a tax system that allows us to do it.
Congressman, aren't the new figures from the CBO indicating that America does not have a very high tax rate? The tax rate, the effective tax rate in fiscal year to the end of September was 12.1%, according to the CBO. That is a very low rate of corporate taxation.
If you look at every rate that you go through, America is the second highest where they go. If you look at how the jobs have departed, you'll find that statistically we are too high. We are in a world economy. Why, if you put a product in a world economy, it costs you 35% to bring the money back to America, so they hold the money on the outside, when every other country has 5% or zero? Statistically, I don't see where the argument stands.
Are you afraid that a number like this gives lawmakers less impetus to examine measures like a repatriation tax holiday?
I don't see people here getting a sugar high. We have a high unemployment rate. We have a CBO report that says for the fourth time we're going to have the highest deficit at any other time. We've got a national debt continuing to rise. We've got people continuing out of work. I think we need to get back to work and creating jobs. Why would you say no to the Keystone Pipeline when there's 20,000 jobs there just because you have a good number in 1 month? Let's put all of America back to work.
Well, if the concern is deficits, Congressman, deficits are ostensibly solved in time through growth. And a number like today is not just the jobs number, but the ISM number and industrial production and some of the manufacturing surveys we've gotten are suggesting growth. Do you not see that?
I see growth on the way, but I also see a cliff on the way. At the end of the year, all the tax cuts will expire. You've got another debt limit coming up at the same time, and you've got Obamacare going into effect. That is an uncertainty. That is why that you have the highest from the last 50 years, more money corporations are holding than at any other time. We need to unshackle that and unleash that. That is the greatest stimulus you can have without $1 being borrowed by government. That is an ability to continue to create private sector jobs.
Congressman, can I just briefly touch, if possible, on where we are externally with foreign affairs? We've had overnight Iran now launching its first domestically built satellite into orbit, and it's clear that Israel's defense minister is very worried that they're rapidly burying their nuclear ability deep in the ground where it cannot be hit by a strike from above. If Tel Aviv does launch a surprise attack, on Iran, what should the United States' response be? Should they get involved in any military aggression between Iran and Israel?
I think America, being a world leader, should make sure that never has to happen. So first and foremost, we should make sure Iran does not follow through on what they're trying to do. We should make sure that they do not create what they're trying to do, and I think the sanctions are beginning to work. I'm one who always stands with my friends. That makes a stronger America and a safer America. But as a world leader in America, this is an important time that we step forward and not be quiet, because if you are quiet, things like that could come to fruition.
Congressman, appreciate your time today. Thanks so much.
Thanks for having me.
Congressman Kevin McCarthy, the House Majority Whip from California.
Here's what's coming up next.